Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about some holy grails of FNAF merch. Last year I did the rarest Funko Pops, and 2 years ago I did the rarest plushie. So this year I'm going to count down the top 5 rarest Funko Five Nights at Freddy's action figures. If you yourself collect FNAF merch or just show interest in it, chances are you know how crazy expensive certain pieces can get. This is because FUNKO, the main producer of FNAF merch, creates loads and loads of exclusives, and they're only sold for about a year or so before being discontinued, and in most cases are never restocked again, and so the aftermarket goes crazy and the prices skyrocket after some time. Heck, even a bunch of the non-exclusive stuff gets really rare after a while. So, before we go on and count down the top 5 rarest FNAF action figures, know that I based these off of listings I've sold on eBay, which means people have actually paid for these prices for these items. Also, this could be a little bit inaccurate, don't expect it to be the definite 5 rarest figures, but these definitely are some of the rarest FNAF action figures. Also, for the most part, I'm only going to be basing these prices off of brand new boxed condition items, because in many cases, people list them out of box for really cheap prices, which don't represent the item's value. And one last thing, it's also entirely possible that the values will totally change in the future. They totally will, and it's possible to say maybe in a year or two time, number 5 could be rarer than number 3, for example. So with all that, let's get started with number 5. Kicking off this list at number 5, we have the Circus Baby figure. This figure released in 2017 in Wave 3 as a non-exclusive. She would have been discontinued in most stores by about mid-2018 to about late 2018. So since it's been vaulted for about 3 years now and it's also the main sister location character, you can expect it to be worth quite a bit of money, and you'd be right. Here's one that sold brand new in box for a whopping $200, which is nuts. You gotta remember throughout this entire video that when these figures first released, they were $10 to $13. Here's another Circus Baby action figure that sold for $110, so I think you get the idea of it. This will easily go for $100 to $200. I've also at one point in my time had a Circus Baby brand new in the box, but this was a long time ago, and guess what I used to do back then? I opened my action figures. Wow, what a painful video, huh? I also couldn't find any listings up at the minute for brand new boxed condition Circus Baby action figures on eBay US either. Okay, so coming up at number 4 is the Nightmare Chica action figure. She was one of the 5 figures of Wave 2, which released in late 2016, and this wave was discontinued around late 2017, would have been around the last time you would have saw it. Getting box condition versions of all of the Wave 2 action figures nowadays is really hard. Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Foxy, Nightmare Freddy, and Nightmare Chica, all really hard to get. However, of those 4, the one that seems to be the rarest is Nightmare Chica. I'm really not sure why she happens to be the rarest of them all, because definitely with those 4 Nightmare animatronics, Nightmare Chica is definitely not the most fan favorite. Maybe it has to do with it having the main piece of Nightmarian. So here's some of the prices I've sold for brand new in-box Nightmare Chica action figures. Here you can see $150, you can also see $100, so I haven't seen one go for $200, but I still want to put it as being slightly rarer than Circus Baby, because it's an older figure, and in other places I have seen a lot of boxed Circus Baby figures go for a lot cheaper. I also think I see more Circus Baby figures being listed than Nightmare Chica figures, so I do want to say that Nightmare Chica is just slightly rarer than Circus Baby. Okay, so up next at number 3, we have the Funtime Freddy action figure. He was, of course, another Wave 3 action figure, being one of the 4 retail figures of the sister location wave, which released in mid-2017, and just like Circus Baby would have been sold out by about mid to late 2018. Now, of the 4 sister location figures, this is definitely the fan favorite one because it is a super duper incredible figure, looks super accurate, and also Funtime Freddy is without a doubt the fan favorite sister location character. So, back in the days when he was in stock, it probably would have been a tad bit harder to find him than the other 3. So here's the prices for sold brand new in-box Funtime Freddy action figures. Here we've got 2 other ones that are around $230 now. It is best offer accepted, but since I had it up for $230, I'd assume that probably the lowest they would have accepted was probably around $200, just estimating. Here's another one that's $180, and as you can see there, 40 plus of these have sold. Now, I'm not sure if this was always the price of it, maybe it was lower before, but still, that's still a lot of Funtime Freddy figures that have sold, and presumably for all pretty damn high prices. Now, I can't check what prices people bought them for, because now, that listing is sold out, and that photo originally was taken about a week ago. And even out of box, you're still talking $100, unless you get a lucky fluke. Up next, taking the number 2 spot is the Jacko Chica action figure. This one was also released as part of Wave 2 in late 2016 as a GameStop exclusive and would have been discontinued in around late 2017 as well. This is a super duper nice looking figure and I'd love to have it for myself. This is the only figure on the list I've never owned before and I'd love to get it someday. The hunt continues even 5+ years later. So here's some of the prices I've sold for Jacko Chica figures. Here you can see easily $200 for a couple listings there, over 100. Out of box you're still talking 100+, so yep. Average price $200 or so if you want it in box. Surprisingly, this is the first exclusive figure on the list. I was really expecting there to be the blacklight figures making it to the list, but it seems to be that the other ones seem to be slightly rarer. But I guess it sort of makes sense if you take into the account the fact that these are newer figures. The blacklight ones only came out in late 2018, and also they're blacklight variants, so they're not actual characters that exist in the game. Well, except for the Help Wanted files, but they were never used, so they're not going to be quite as popular as these other figures. Okay, so before we hop into number 1, I think if you know your FNAF action figures, you're already easily going to know who this is. But before we do, I want to throw in a couple of honorable mentions to the blacklight figures, as I was just mentioning, as well as the other Nightmare action figures, because I'll throw up the prices for those on screen right now. You can see they go for some pretty damn high prices as well. They just slightly didn't make the cut. Hey, it's also entirely possible that number 5 could be Nightmare Foxy or Nightmare Bonnie, but I decided to put Circus Baby there just based on what I've seen. You know, just had to throw in the honorable mentions in there. I know every top list kind of does that, but you know, there were those figures I did really want to shed some light on. Okay, so are you ready now? Now we're going to go on to number 1, which you probably already see this one coming. This is the Lulbit action figure. This figure was released in mid-2017 alongside all the other Sis Location figures and was released as a Walgreens exclusive, which is probably one of the reasons why it is a much rarer figure than the likes of Jacko Chica and all, because it was released in a much more of like obscure store. You know, you've got Walmarts and GameStops all over the place, but you don't typically see Walgreens as much. In brand new boxed condition, this figure goes for a fortune. This figure has went for upwards of almost $500. And keep in mind, all these sold listings I've been showing you have been in just the past 90 days. After that, listings are all like automatically deleted from eBay. So you can only see the sold listings in the last 90 days. So in the last 90 days, there's been multiple people spending way over $400 for this. This figure is incredibly rare and by far the rarest Funko FNAF action figure by a long shot. $400 and something is crazy. I really wonder what it is that makes this one the rarest though, because it isn't like a wave 1 or 2 figure. It's also not a super big character when compared to others in the list such as Circus Baby, Jacko Chica and Funtime Freddy. I know she's a very popular character in the community, but she doesn't have quite as much appearances as the others. So it really doesn't seem to be too character based, but I know Lulbit's a popular one. But yeah, I can't blame them. It's a super duper nice figure. The only thing is the eyebrows really, but other than that, it is a really nice figure in my opinion. And you know what the worst part of it is? At one point, a few years ago, I did have a boxed Lulbit action figure. There's a video on this very channel of me cracking that box open, and it is very painful to watch. I literally tear that thing right open. If I could go back in time, I would definitely not open up that box. But hey, there you have it, the top 5 rarest Funko Five Nights at Freddy's action figures. Keep in mind that this list may be slightly inaccurate since I'm basing these off eBay listings from the last 90 days. So yep, there you have that. So thank you all so much for watching. I really like doing these top 5 rarest FNAF tier list like countdown videos, because you know how crazy rare FNAF stuff can get. Next year I might do another updated plush version because things have changed since then and I'm not very fond of that list. That wasn't the greatest list. There was a lot of, you know, mistakes made in that one. Oh, also next year it's quite possible that I'll also make a rarest mystery mini list, because there are so many crazy expensive mystery minis. Like, so many. Like, loads of the exclusives go for a bloody fortune. It's clearly the hardest set of FNAF merch to 100% complete. So that's gonna wrap this video up. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time.